You're watching Island News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Ojima. Well, after just 18 months on the job, Craig Angelos has been dismissed as athletics director at the University of Hawaii. His dismissal will take effect on December 1st, and Lois Mannon will take over as interim AD beginning on December 2nd. In his short tenure as athletics director, Angelos helped the University of Hawaii move to the Mountain West Conference, which will go into effect in 2026. He was also successful in providing charter flights for the UH football team, and he got rid of travel subsidies for visiting Mountain West Conference teams. Since the news broke, so many student athletes have come out in support of Angelos, and one student athlete I spoke to said if it wasn't for Angelos, he wouldn't be at UH.
You know, men's volleyball is a 4.5 scholarship sport. So that means the 20 athletes on our team split 4.5 scholarships. So numerically speaking, there's about a sixth of a scholarship for each athlete. In the grand scheme of things, for a sport that does as well as volleyball, that's tough, you know, to make ends meet. You're an out-of-state student, international student. You move to one of the places where the rent is incredibly expensive. An out-of-state student, the school is incredibly expensive. And when he came in and NIL became a thing, he really helped our team out. He started finding and sourcing some of these opportunities for us. And I would have had to leave if he wasn't there busting his butt and networking with some of the business leaders in our community and making some of those possibilities a reality.
Now, the university put out a statement saying that President Lasner's decision to fire Angelos was based on performance. But student athletes I spoke to said Craig Angelos was one of the hardest working people in the athletics department.
I do think that sometimes, you know, like when a mainland guy comes in wanting to change everything, yeah, it steps on people's toes. We needed change. Definition of insanity is keeping up with the same thing and expecting a different result. I mean, initially, there's just so much gratitude towards him. Thanks for coming in and working your butt off. And just from his work ethic point of view, I get there 6:30 in the morning, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, sometimes earlier. And I leave, you know, pretty late at night. And every single time I'm walking to and from the locker room, I see his car. I know what car he drives. I see it there. It's very impressive to me seeing, you know, someone who has that resilience and who has that passion for sports.
Kurt told me he started an online petition and more than 1,000 people have already signed it in support of Angelos.
Wow, such interesting and shocking news.
It really is shocking when you think about what he has accomplished. And just personally speaking, you know, in my dealings with him, he's always been very upfront, very genuine in his manner. It came as a shock to me as well.
And he is an at-will employee,
that is correct.
Not under contract,
that is
so
correct.
They can technically get rid of him at any time.
Yep.
All right, thanks so much, Brian.
Right.
And that does it for Island News at 6:30. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we'll be back with our next news, guys, coming up at 10 with Jai Cunningham.
We'll see you guys in a few hours. Have a good night.